Hi, I'm Mike. No matter how cold it is outside, no matter how much it's snowing and blowing, there's always things that need done. Today, we hit a few projects that we could put off, but waiting to do them will just allow more to pile up. So put on your warm coat, your best pair of socks, and some good gloves, because today we're going to head outside in some sub-zero weather as we continue whittling away on the project list on our Wyoming Life. Before we get going on the project list, I want to invite you personally to a very special live stream happening this Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. Blake from Guy in Wyoming will be with us on the couch, and together, all three of us, myself, Erin, and Blake, will be answering your questions and telling you more about why we do this, how the journey has gone to this point, and what we've learned. It'll be a dual live stream, so you can watch it on both our channels, his or ours. So if you haven't checked him out, head over to Guy in WY and subscribe to him for even more from the great state of Wyoming. Also, if this is your first time here, thanks for joining us. Make sure you subscribe for more from the ranch. Erin's got a bunch of cooking and gardening tips coming up, and of course, the cows need you. So I'm going to be completely honest with you here. When we first came to the ranch and not knowing how things worked around here, that first winter I fed, I checked waters, I made sure animals were okay, but that was about it. I didn't do much maintenance. I didn't fix any fence, and I'll tell you why, or at least my logic at the time. There's always tomorrow. Tomorrow will be warmer. The wind might blow less, maybe. And either way, working today isn't going to be any fun. It's going to be cold, my nose is going to run, my fingers are going to freeze, whatever the excuse was. I figured that in the spring, when the weather was better, then I could get started doing more, and I'd get caught up. Needless to say, I watched a lot of TV that first winter here, and I sat on my butt a lot, and I didn't get much done. And when spring did roll around, and we were calving and had projects piling up every day, I soon realized that I was so far behind that I didn't feel like I'd ever catch up. Lesson learned though. Every day is a day to work around here. Unless you can't see 5 feet in front of your face, there's always something you can get done. And if you can't work outside, then you bring the projects inside. By doing what you can, the hope is that you aren't completely overwhelmed later on. We're still a couple months away from the beginning of calving season. And you know what, if I didn't want to do much today, I really wouldn't have to. But that's not how it works. Right now it's -5 degrees. The wind isn't blowing too bad. The wind chill is down to about -10 this morning, and we're going to fix fence in the corral. That mean old cow that was out there during preg checking, well, she took it out. Also, we're going to take a viewer suggestion and insulate our problem hydrant, the one that we had to unfreeze a few weeks ago, in a rather ingenious way. Then we get rid of some net wrap. It's the mesh material that's wrapped around the bales of hay. We cut that off before we feed, and we need to get rid of it. In case you can't tell, I really don't want to go outside today. It's going to be cold, but I tell you what, if we put it off, no one else is going to do it for us. And they say the more you work, the warmer you are. These are the corrals. We use them when we're working cattle for branding, sorting, or checking to see who's pregnant or not. We also use them if we have a sick cow or a cow that we need to get a look at. And right now, they're sort of out of commission. Back when we were preg checking cows to see who was pregnant and who wasn't, we had a cow that wanted no part of it, and she decided to go right through some fence, leaving a hole that needs fixed. Until it's fixed, we can't use this portion of the corrals. And because we could need them tomorrow, we never know, now is as good a time as any to get the fence fixed back up. First, we toss out the old broken boards and see what we're dealing with. None of the posts are broken, so that's a good thing, and it looks like we can just replace the cross boards. After removing the old screws that held the boards in, we can head over and grab some new 2x6s to replace these ones. A quick and easy project, and a good thing too, because it's cold out here, and it's quickly taking its toll on me. Back over at the corrals, we can test fit the boards that we grabbed. These posts are 8 foot on center, and the boards are 8 foot 2x6s. Or at least I thought they were. These are too short. They aren't going to work. And now we have to find boards that will. We could run to town. That's an easy solution. But that would take a couple hours out of our day. And this is a ranch after all. There's junk laying everywhere. We only need 24 feet of boards to get this fence done. So we jump back in the Gator and we drive around looking to see what we can find. There's an old 2x6 laying in this shed. It looks long enough, but after a closer inspection, it's not going to do. It's old and it's rotten. But I just remembered that we have a bunch of really good lumber in the barn across the road. Keeping track of what you have and where you have it can be a bit of a challenge around here, but as long as my brain works in spurts occasionally, I'll be okay. Over at the barn, we pull out the lumber we need. This barn needs some organizing too, and we load it into the Gator. Then it's back across the road to the corrals where we can install the boards. When working by yourself, you often find ways to create a second pair of hands. And by screwing this longer board into the fence, I can then cut it to the correct length, then screw it into place. The 16-foot board is the top one, and it's done the same way. Screwing the center in place, then cutting it off to length and securing it. This fence will now hold, at least until another annoyed 1,400-pound mom decides that she doesn't like it. Fences are only suggestions to cattle, as you can see, and when they don't want to listen, they don't have to. Speaking of suggestions, a few weeks ago, we dealt with a frozen hydrant that delivers water to our heifers. I used a propane torch to thaw it out and get the water flowing again. Since then, it hasn't frozen up again, but it has been hard to open a few times, which is just a few degrees difference from being frozen. One of our viewers suggested using hay or straw as insulation around the hydrant itself. And because I love suggestions, especially when they don't cost me anything, I decided to give it a try. It's pretty simple. Using a box knife, you cut open the end of a Rubbermaid garbage can. Okay, maybe a box knife, not such a good idea. Seems like a good way to cut your leg off. So let's head to the tool wall and get a reciprocating saw. It makes short work of taking the bottom of the garbage can out. Flip it back over, make sure you grab the lid, then it's over to our trouble hydrant. Back across the road. Once at the hydrant, this is super simple. You just slip the garbage can over the hydrant, then cut a notch out of the lid for the pipe of the hydrant to slip through. Once it's in place, you can fill the garbage can with hay or straw. Luckily, we don't have to go too far. I fed the heifers this morning, and part of the bale that I fed them fell off of the bale. So we can grab this, toss it in the back of the Gator, then it's back to the hydrant and the garbage can, where we can fill the garbage can with the hay and the straw, keeping it fluffed up a bit to allow air to move through and insulate the pipe. The lid goes on, and we pop a few screws through it to keep it in place. Thank you, Krista, for your easy solution to a problem. Another problem that we have here on the ranch is trash. And one of our biggest sources of trash during the winter is from net wrap. Net wrap is used to hold the bale together during haying. It's wrapped around the bale by the baler and not only keeps the bale together, but it also sheds moisture while we're waiting to feed it, keeping the hay fresher and less prone to molding. When we feed a bale, we cut off the net wrap, and it usually gets thrown in the tractor until we get back to the shop after feeding. Then it's tossed out of the tractor and into the shop. Every once in a while, we have to clean out the pile of net wrap and get rid of it. We can't put it in the garbage dumpster that we pay for and gets dumped every couple of weeks, because not only would it fill up the dumpster, it also gets wrapped up in the garbage truck's internal mechanism and causes a huge problem for our trash guy. We can't put it in our personal dump because it would blow around and eventually escape the dump, where animals could get tangled in it or even eat it. So that leaves burning it. About once a week, we grab all the net wrap from the shop and load it into the back of the Gator. And I mean cram it in the back of the Gator. In fact, it looks like I'm harvesting seaweed. Then it's to the incinerator, where it's thrown in and burned, making for a little bit of warmth at the end of a cold winter day. I'm not done, of course, but I think the rest of the day would be better spent if I was inside cleaning the shop or doing something. I'll find something to do. Today we knocked out more on the list, but of course, like I've said many times before, the list continues to grow. While out feeding this morning, I noticed a portion of the roof that is the shelter for the calves has completely blown away. I don't even know where it is, and that's going to be on the list. But I think it's going to wait until there's no snow on that roof, unless you want to see me slip and fall, and then we can do the project list from my hospital bed. And the main project might be making it to the bathroom on time. That's it for this one. Thanks for hanging out with me. More on the way, of course, and be sure to check out our dual live stream with Blake from Guy in WY. Take a look at his channel. Be sure to subscribe and be here Thursday at 7 p.m. It should be a lot of fun. Like us on Facebook for content that you can't find anywhere else, including a giveaway going on there right now. T-shirts, Erin jams, stickers, a whole lot more. It's all up for grabs, so go on over and check it out. I'll see you Thursday, and until then, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.